Hello, thank you for having me. When you said the thing about the Grammys, it just suddenly made me flash in my head to that time when we were there. And the first Grammy of the night, that was the year with Amy and Back to Black. And we were standing there in that pre-telecast when it's not the fancy thing on TV, you're on the side room. And they read my name out. It was the first award that I was up for. It was for Producer of the Year. And I think I was in such a daze and a tiny bit hungover that you had to like in the movies, you had to like shake me and be like, yo, dude, they're saying your name. Like you were tapping me because it was so out of body and to win. But I really remember you being like, dude, it's you and like snapping me out of it.
My management, Rich and Mark, RCA Ireland in the UK that allowed us to make records that aren't just straight up and down pop records. The Academy, I really can't believe this is surreal, bizarre. Have a good night.
Like the kid at school who's like the teacher's calling on them and he doesn't hear it. I remember that so well.
That was a very that night, and so much of like our early careers together feels so like pure. Like I remember being at the Grammys. I had horrible seats. You were the producer up for the award. You had one seat. I think your mom sat with you. Obviously,
she did.
My mom, who's sitting over there somewhere.
Yeah.
And of course, like, a small young manager of this, like, first time this producer's ever been up for an award like this, I was seated in the boonies and I loved it. Like, suited up.
Yeah.
I remember running down, like, literally suited up like a banker at Chase. Like, I had the worst suit. And I remember just going over and, like, hugging the shit out of you and then, like, running right back up to the seat. And we went out that night and we were feeling ourselves. Remember, we were like
that whole weekend was wild. It felt like our arrival in some ways. But I also, I remember my first Grammys. I wasn't even nominated. I was Rhymefest date because he was up for Jesus Walks and like Nicole Renee or somebody wouldn't go with him. So last minute, I got to go with him and he had good seats because Jesus Walks was up for Song of the Year. And I remember borrowing a cool t-shirt from Jamie Patricoff. He had a vintage Eddie Murphy Raw t-shirt. And I sat there, but just as a total, like, I'd never made music. People knew me kind of because I was a DJ, but like, it's so amazing those times in the beginning and everything's just exciting and like everything's so new and you're so grateful to be there,
Yeah, and for that award, I was also there. But if you think my seats were bad, when I was your manager, I was now managing the guy who was sitting with Rhymefest at the awards. I sat with Ron Miner, R.I.P., to our boy. And that night was incredible, too. Like, I remember, I was about 11 times disconnected from that Grammy, Rhymefest writing for Jesus Walks, but I was like, oh shit, I'm at the Grammys. It was incredible.
If we're really gonna have to one up you for like worst seats at the Grammys, I'm gonna have to even go one more level then. When I was 12 or 13 years old for my high school paper that I wrote, I was a seat filler, which at the Grammys when it was in New York, because I wanted to write about the Grammys for this paper and I was a nerdy kid who liked writing about music. And seat filler is when someone gets up to get an award on TV, they have people sit in their seats. So when they pan to the audience, it doesn't look like empty seats. So you're just there going everywhere. Like, Keith Urban gets up and went, hurry, go to B1. And that was my whole night. And that was the most exciting thing ever to me. I was a seat filler at the Grammys when I was 13. And I just thought it was the coolest thing.